Welcome to Unit 3, the health impacts of air pollution. By the end of this unit, you will describe the impact of air pollution on the body and the overall burden of disease, and explain the role of air pollution as a risk factor for non-communicable diseases. Globally, air pollution kills around 7 million people every year. WHO data shows that 99% of people worldwide breathe air containing high levels of pollutants. These data are based on PM 2.5, as this is considered the best indicator for estimating the health impacts of air pollution. When it comes to morbidity and mortality of a certain risk factor, in our case air pollution, an important topic must be introduced: the burden of disease. The burden of disease is a concept initially introduced by WHO in the 90s to describe death and loss of health due to diseases, injuries and risk factors for all regions of the world. The burden of a particular disease or condition is estimated by adding together 1. The number of years of life a person loses as a consequence of dying early because of the disease, called years of life lost or YLL, and 2. The number of years of life a person lives with disability caused by the disease, called years of life lived with disability or YLD. Adding together years of life lost and years lived with disability gives a single figure estimate of disease burden, called the Disability Adjusted Life Year, or DALY. One DALY represents the loss of 1 year of life lived in full health. Using information from epidemiological studies, the Global Burden of Disease Project attributes fractions of the burden of disease to various risk factors. Particulate matter air pollution is the 4th highest cause of death among all risk factors, considering all ages and both sexes, ranking just below high systolic blood pressure, tobacco smoking and high fasting plasma glucose. Mortality-wise, air pollution-related diseases for which there is a strong evidence of the causal role of air pollution as an environmental risk factors are cardiovascular diseases such as ischemic heart disease and ischemic stroke, respiratory diseases such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and acute lower respiratory tract infections, and lung cancer. WHO data also allows us to estimate the percentage of deaths attributable to air pollution per disease outcome. This is an epidemiological concept called population attributable fraction. The latest results show that air pollution is globally responsible for 11% of all lung cancer deaths, 15% of deaths resulting from stroke, 22% of all deaths from heart disease, and 41% of all deaths from lung disease. In 2013, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IRC, classified outdoor ambient air pollution as a whole, and especially particulate matter, as a carcinogenic to humans. The IRC working group looked at more than 1,000 studies from 5 continents covering the scientific fields of atmospheric science, epidemiology, and toxicology. These studies showed a consistent association between outdoor air pollution and lung cancer, as well as other diseases such as respiratory and heart diseases. A positive association was also found between air pollution and increased risk of bladder cancer. Previous to that, in 2010, household combustion of coal was classified as Group 1, which means carcinogenic to humans, by IRC. In September 2018, the United Nations General Assembly staged at the 3rd high-level meeting on the prevention and control of non-communicable diseases, or NCDs. The meeting undertook a comprehensive review of the global and national progress achieved in putting measures in place that protect people from dying too young from heart and lung diseases, cancers and diabetes. A political declaration was adopted, transforming the historically 4x4 agenda, 4 risk factors and 4 main diseases, into a 5x5 agenda, including air pollution as a risk factor and mental health as a disease. You have now completed Unit 3. Please download the reading materials for further information. In the next unit, we will look at the determinants of air pollution and health impacts.